I'm out here early morning starting working things and stuff. It is too early for this, but I'm gonna get things rolling here for you guys today. But first things first is, you see that vehicle right behind me? That is my new to me 1998 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive. To get things caught up here for you, let me give you a little backstory of how I obtained it. I got it for cheap. It was non-running, blown motor, came with the spare motor. So we put the spare motor in, and it turns out when we got that to fire up, that was blown too. So the reason we had a spare motor with it is because the original one had pretty much a hole in the side of the block that was man-made, not by the engine itself. They broke the tensioner to the timing belt into the block. The dude that had it before hired someone else to try to tap it out, and I don't know if this guy was on drugs or something, I don't know, makes you do crazy things. He decided to cut out the spot where the tensioner is, like the whole little mountain thing that sticks out. Mind you, this is a b20b, and yeah, he cut it out. I don't know why. What I had to end up doing after that is taking the other motor back out, disassembling both of them. The one that was blown had blown pistons, because when I popped them out of the block that was good, they fell apart. So I pulled the pistons out of the other one and the rods, swapped them over, and pretty much problem solved. It had a lot of blow by with the other one with the blown rings, and it was just smoking like crazy. It sounded horrible. So that's all taken care of. The vehicle is running now, and what I'm going to take you through is, I've been kind of just doing my little break-in period with the new piston rings and bearings, and now I got a leak around the valve cover gasket, but it's more or less kind of coming from the cam seals themselves. So I'm going to pull off the valve cover and get things opened up, and let's take a look. I'm also going to put some RTV on it, a little bit on the valve cover itself, just in a few spots. That way it'll prevent any further leaking. So I'm going to jump right into this here. This is what we're looking like as far as under the hood goes. This b20b does have LS cams and LS intake manifold, and boy does that make a difference. So it really does help out. Down here you can kind of see where it's trailing and then starting to go down the power steering pump. I still need to put the belt on, it's just in the car. A little short ram I stuck in there just because it was laying around, but other than that it runs great, just minus that slight oil leak that I've been dealing with. So I'm going to end up pulling the valve cover out or off the car, and I'm going to check the cam seals over by the cam gears themselves, because it's not really leaking too much on this side of the engine. But I'm going to put a little RTV around the valve cover gasket, and also check the cam seals under the cam caps over here to make sure that they're seated properly. If not, I'm going to see if I can loosen up the cam cap just a little bit, and then I guess you put it back in its place, and maybe stick a little RTV in there as well after I dry it up and get it a little cleaned up. I'm also going to pull this grill off because it's only held on by just this one little bolt. Broken, tab broken. So this thing's just held on. Mind you, I did pick this up for real cheap. Got it for about $600 with the spare engine. Combine the two things, the only thing I had to do really is get some piston rings and bearings. So I'm going through my break-in period right now to try to get everything settled before I can, really have fun with this vehicle. So let me go ahead and set this up, and we'll get things going. So I found the problem. As you can tell on the exhaust #1 cam cap, it's not even bolted down all the way, so of course it's leaking oil everywhere. Great. Other than that, everything else checked out fine. Everything else looks good. But if I would have not checked this would have probably ended up destroying my top end. Because what if that other one came loose and started bouncing around in here? Alright, cool. I caught it early. I'm only within about 50 miles of my break-in period, and that's when I started noticing the leak literally dropping down the side of the engine over here. But now, woo, alright, let's do this. Now that I got everything tightened down properly with the cam caps, it should fix my leak issue. I'm surprised the car was even running decently with it. It's probably gonna run even better now. But now I'm gonna put the valve cover back on, but before I do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of RTV silicone gasket, high temp, especially oil resistance, to be able to make sure that I don't have any further leaks after everything is settled back on when I put the valve cover back on. So let's go ahead, hop to that. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, but I'll show you the finished product. We got everything put back together. It's all bolted up, tightened up. Before I start it, I'm gonna let the silicone dry a little bit, the gasket. That way I can just make sure there is no leaks once the pressure starts to build up. So until then, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get this front grille pulled off and start mocking up where I want to have my little mini light bars, fog light type things put in place. I mentioned that I was going to end up putting some fog lights into my car, but I noticed a little bit more of the core support damage, that more than there was initially than what it looks like on the outside. So on the outside, let's go take a look. If you can see right there, it's all pushed in a little bit. The course, this part up here is bent. I just took all this off the bumper and everything, and I need to pull out the core support a little bit and actually remove the crash bar. So from the outside, it doesn't look too bad. It just looks like it's pushed in a little bit. But when I removed everything, there's a little bit more to it. So what I did for now is I just put everything back, because I'm gonna have to pull off the crash bar, and then also start pulling out the core support a little bit, re-straightening it and getting that to lower a little bit so I can get the lights to line up properly. And then from there, I can install these. So I'm thinking, because there's pre-drilled holes, and my CRV people know this, there's pre-drilled holes in the core support that where I could just bolt this straight to. So I'm thinking once I remove the grill, there's going to be one right here and one right here. The nice thing about this, I just got this little kit at Walmart. It was like 22 bucks. The nice thing about this is, you know, comes with the little rubber boot at the bottom. It even came with its own wiring kit and switch. Screws, mounts, butt connectors. So it comes with the complete kit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save that for another day here, because that's gonna probably take me a little bit longer than what's expected. So stay tuned for that. Right now, why don't we go ahead and get this thing started? All right, so this is a cold start. It used to act really rough until it warmed up, and I believe that was in regards to those cam caps being loose as hell. Let's hope for the best, guys. Here we go. So that's fixed up a little bit, a lot of it, honestly. It used to be a hell of a lot more violent. So this is my cold starts. I'm gonna come out to the outside. Honestly, it just looks like my motor mounts.
I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys... Hold on, I think I see something. Alright, so it was a false alarm. It was just whatever was already on there on the belts and pulleys, it kind of was just flinging it up. It's actually not leaking. It's just burning off whatever oil dripped off the exhaust. But I also found out my motor mount is ripped. And that's probably what's causing this whole thing to shake. Shake, 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 do 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 do. Shake, 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 do 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 do. Rip. Motor mount. Something. Okay. So we're back in the house now. I ended up taking it out on a test drive. Apologize that I didn't get to film any of it. The camera battery actually ended up dying, so I brought it in the house to be able to charge it, and then went out on the test drive. So I drove about 40 miles, just kind of driving around and making sure that there was no leaks. So far, so good. There's no leaks happening. It looks like that fixed the problem as far as oil going everywhere. It's because those cam cap bolts backed out, or they were left undone. I don't remember. I literally knocked out that rebuild again in like 2 days, and just so I can get it up and running. But right now it's rolling good. I'm happy with it, and I will be probably starting next weekend. I'm gonna start taking off the front bumper, pulling the crash bar, and that way I can start trying to get the core support more straightened out, to fix that headlight setting, and just kind of fix everything under there. That way I can mount those fog lights. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you're first time watching this video, please check out my other videos as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so that way you are up to date to my new videos coming out. More to come on the CRV. It's a work in progress. More to come on the Prelude. And stay tuned for the Focus. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Project Flip telling you until next time, peace.